Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Facebook Live. I am Shalini Joshi Amdagni, founder of Magical Pain Free Living, and this is my weekly Facebook Live session. And our topic today is break free from negative thought patterns. So in today's Facebook Live, I'm going to be sharing here's just a preview of what's coming up. So we're going to look at daily recycled thoughts. We are going to, I'm going to share with you something that I'm calling This Is Me. You know, who am I? Is this me? And all the identification we have with who I am, right? And then we're going to do a little exercise. Plus, I'm sharing with you 5 tips that I use, right, to break free from negative thought patterns. And also, I'm going to share with you some questions that you can ask yourself so that it helps you detach and demote those negative thought patterns that keep circling our heads. So welcome if you are here brand new, welcome. If you're joining me live, welcome. And if you're watching on the replay, which is most people, please pop in and let me know where you are hanging out from. I am here in Bangkok, Thailand, and let's begin. Okay, so breaking free from negative thought patterns. And have you noticed, like, sometimes you're constantly thinking about the same stuff over and over and over, and it's not even like you're doing it consciously. It's like it's just like this inner commentary that's happening in the background and you don't even realize it. I've seen people walking on the street and they're just mumbling to themselves because of this inner commentary that's going on. And they're just rambling and having this discussion with themselves because, our brains, our minds are overloaded with all kinds of data, all kinds of experiences, all kinds of, situations that we've been in. And so we have this nonstop inner commentary that's always going on. And it can happen in simple activities like you're taking a shower and you notice, okay, I'm thinking about this again, and these are the thoughts that are coming up. Or it could be, when you're getting ready to leave, or you're driving in your car to work, to wherever you're going. It could happen in a shower, and or when you're crossing the street. It's kind of like a nonstop thing that's going on. I know that the other day. And I was relating it to my topic. I was walking from my house to the end of the street. I wanted to get some fruits. We get to these street vendors here in Bangkok, and they're at every street. So I was just walking down, and without realizing, I was having this conversation in my head that, the things that are happening in my life right now are about my son. He's in his last final year, and it's all about grades, and it's all about universities, and it's all about deciding which place to go. And he's taken French, and I'm his teacher. Because I've done 8 years of French, and I was thinking, am I the right person to be teaching him, because this is IB French, and maybe I should get a tutor, and blah blah blah. And I realized as I walked halfway down the street that it's the same thoughts that I was thinking the other day, 2 weeks ago, because it's the same stuff. And I thought about how we just recycle. It's a brand new day. It's a fresh new moment. The sky is blue. It's beautiful these days in Bangkok, Thailand. It's windy. It's not scorching hot like it is some months. It's raining every day, and I love the rain, and it's just cool and fresh, and the skies were blue. And I thought, gosh, like we miss out on on our daily life, on our daily experiences, on our daily fresh new moments by churning those recycled thoughts and bringing them into our every moment experience. And research has shown that we think, I don't know how true this is, but this is on the internet, you can Google it, that we think about approximately 12,000 to 60,000 some thoughts in a day. And 95% of those thoughts that we think every day are recycled thoughts. They are old thoughts that we've already thought about. That leaves 5% for inspiration, for creativity, and it's just mind-boggling. And so, if we want to consciously create the life that we want, and we want to, consciously move forward, then we want to pay attention to this, right? We don't want to, we want to experience fresh moments with fresh feelings and fresh new energy and fresh thoughts, instead of bringing the old, recycled stuff into our everyday now experiences. And so, going to the next, the next point is, this is me. And, you can put a question mark, is this me? This is me? Because here you are, right? Here you are, and this is your core you, right? When I mean core, I mean this is the part of you that we call the soul, the divine spark, a child of God. But what happens is that we start thinking, this is me, right? I do it all the time. You get entangled with your realities, your life situations, your memories, what's going on in your body, and you think, so for example, your life situation, right? Maybe somebody sends or you send an email and the person doesn't respond, and you think, something wrong with me, I'm not good enough, he thinks I am blah, blah, blah. Or you do something bad, right? And you think, I'm a bad person, this is who I am. You feel guilty and you feel shame and you feel, I'm not worthy, I'm not a good human being. And we do this, and you have another interaction with somebody and you come away and you think, I should have said this, I should have done this, why didn't I do that? Am I doing the right thing? And and then you start doubting you, because all these things that are going on outside of you, you kind of identify with them as you, right? And you think, I am all these, you connect your identity with all the stuff that's going on with you. And, I wanted to lead you into a little exercise to say, is this really me? Okay. So if you want to play along, play along. And I want you to close your eyes, right? Just close your eyes and take a deep breath. And as you close your eyes, ask yourself, like, where am I? Your eyes are closed, and scan yourself to find, like, where are you? Are you in your feet? Are you in your abdomen area? Are you in your head? Are you in your eyes? Are you in your hands? You can't find you, right? And now if I say, take your awareness to your feet. And now bring that awareness to the top of your head. And now take that awareness out of your body to your family members. Your father, your mother, your your loved ones, whoever they are. Okay. And now bring your attention and your awareness to some situation in your life that's going on. Maybe at your work, maybe at your home, maybe with your children. Okay. And now bring your attention back in your body. Bring your attention and awareness to your hands. And just notice that you are not your body, you are not your mind. You know, you have these life situations, but you are simply awareness. You are just awareness. You are the seer and the witnesser and the observer of you, your body parts, your thoughts, your feelings, your situations, your office situations, your family situations, your health situations. So you are not, that is not who you are at your core. And so, you know, to try to identify yourself and say this is who I am based on whatever is going on here is not true, right? And so what if we could keep that in mind, you know, as we move through our life. You know, these are situations. I have this situation, I have this feeling. It's not me, it's something I have. I have this piece of paper in my hand, I have this computer, I have this feeling, I have these thoughts, right? So you are the observer, and at your core you are pure, you're divine love, you're a divine spark, you are awareness, you're the witnesser, you're the observer. And that's an interesting you know, shift in perspective that you want to bring as you are, you know, as you are having these repetitive recycled thoughts, right, which are making you feel bad, angry, frustrated, guilty, ashamed, and actually thinking this is who I am not worthy, I'm not a good human being, I am, you know, whatever, all the negative stuff. Because as I said earlier, research shows that we think all these tens of thousands of thought every day, and 95% are recycled thoughts about what's going on in your you know, in your life situations and in your body. Maybe you're sick, and it's the same recycled thoughts, and most of those thoughts are negative. So it's nice to kind of have a different perspective, right? And say, this is not who I am, right? I'm having these situations and they'll keep changing, right? What's going to happen tomorrow in your life situation is going to be very different, maybe, right? Maybe you're traveling, maybe you're doing something and you're with a completely different set of people. And so everything keeps changing, but you don't change, and that's who you truly are. This is that is who you are. And so it's an interesting perspective to bring into your conscious awareness, because then that helps you to, you know, distance yourself from these negative thought patterns. Okay. And so that was the little exercise that we did. And, you know, I want to share with you 5 tips that you can use to break free from this negative thought pattern. And here's, you know, so number 1 is that you want to, a lot of people are moving forward without even realizing that that's what's going on a daily basis. So one of the first things, you know, that's going to help you break that negative thought pattern is just being aware, oh my God, I'm thinking the same thoughts every day, right? I'm thinking the same thoughts about my life situation, about what's going on with my health, about what's going on with my kids, and whatever your life situations are, but that's not you. And so just to become aware is the very first step. Aware that and just become the witnesser and the observer of, wow, this is what's going on, and I'm having all these thoughts, and so that's the first step, because when it's going on inside you, it just keeps adding up because you don't realize it. But the moment you recognize it, and when you give that look to someone, it's like, oh, I see you, I am aware of you, it loses its power on you, okay? So, and then when you're aware of it, right, you witness all these things that are going on, like I sit in my balcony and observe all these thoughts, all these clouds. So witnessing thought clouds, that's where this expression is coming from, because I often sit in the balcony, I'm looking at the sky, and then the different cloud forms, and they come and they drift and they move off. And that's how you want to observe these thoughts. And you may be in a life situation where nothing very serious is going on, and it's just regular work and regular family and children and maybe money issues and relationship issues. And then there might be situations where something really serious is going on, right? Something life-threatening, something it's a big challenge. And yet, if you are familiar with law of attraction, you attract what you fear, what you hate, and what you love, right? So when you become aware and start seeing these thoughts, these worries, these doubts, all these perspectives that you have about the different situations that are going on in your life, they lose their intensity, they lose their grip. So it's interesting to step back and step into silence and just be an observer of what's going on, right? And then there's something I call empty out, right? And so what I tend to do, and I encourage all my clients to do, is be in a quiet place and just empty out these thoughts that are circling and circling and just circling in your brain about your kids, about the situations, about the money issues, about the relationship issues, and whatever the case may be for you. And take a piece of paper and take a pen and just write it out. Empty out. I have this weird analogy of vomiting. When you have this really uncomfortable sensation going on, and you have to vomit, and it's all stuck there, it's so uneasy, it's causing this nausea. That feeling, right? And then when you go and vomit everything out, there is such a sense of peace and relief and calm that happens. And that's exactly what I have experienced, and many of my, all my clients who do this process with me, is you just empty it out, because then it stops circling and giving you anxiety and stress and worry and doubt and fear and heartbeats and muscle tensions and on and on. Right? So you kind of empty it out. Now, there might be a situation where you have, I'm talking about the daily stresses, but there might be traumas, right? Really psychological traumas that you've experienced, right? And obviously, you want to also get expert guidance to do this process, because sometimes it's just hard to deal with those those experiences that are haunting you on a daily basis, right? But this is more for the general stuff that you're having every single day. And so you want to write it out, and you want to empty out, and just it's out of your system and it's out there on the paper. So that's the empty out process. And then you want to question. You want to question this data that you've emptied out on this piece of paper and you want to ask yourself, here are some questions that I prepared for you, right? And look at that data. Look at that piece of paper where you vomited out, you emptied your brain, your heart, your thoughts out onto that piece of paper, and ask yourself, like, am I feeling at peace with my reality, or am I at war with my reality? And these are questions that Byron Katie, asks you to ask. These are her questions. I've just put this into, I find them really deep and profound, and it helps me just, get into awareness and say, oh my God, I'm really struggling. I'm really feeling this inner war, right? If you're not at peace, then you're struggling. There's some dis-ease, right? And so when you look at that piece of paper with all these things that you've vomited out, that you've emptied out, and say, when I see this, do I feel like I'm at peace or I'm at war? And you'll have the awareness that maybe you're feeling at war, right? And then you can also ask yourself, what if I could let this moment be? This just came to me yesterday, and that's why I put this here. And there's a little story to this. What if I could let this moment be? Because I'm talking about negative thought patterns. And yesterday, early morning, I got a call from my brother, and he informed me that my dad had a stroke yesterday morning. He had a stroke. He has a clot in his brain. And right now, as I am talking, he would have been on this Facebook Live, which he never misses. But right now, he is in the ICU. And so there were so many thoughts that were circling in my brain yesterday. What if this happens? What if that happens? And all kinds of negative thoughts, right? And I do this practice a lot. I'm here today talking, and I'm sharing this with you. And so, I was asking myself, like, this is so unfair, and what happened, and why did this happen, and how did this happen? I was feeling a little bit of anger, and all kinds of stuff was coming up. And then I said, I'm doing this again. And what if I could just let this moment be? We try to make every moment wrong. We try to judge every moment. We try to make like this moment wrong because we're waiting for a future moment. We are waiting for this moment to be perfect. And many times it's not, and it is what it is. And my dad is still in the ICU. And instead of worrying and stressing and judging and saying it's unfair, it's the same process that I'm going to keep doing. And it really, I have to question myself and ask myself, is it helping? Is it helping the situation get any better? Is it bringing relief to someone? Is it helping me feel clear-minded? What is it doing? And what if I could let this moment be? It is what it is. So I'm not adding negativity to it. I'm not adding worry to it. I'm not adding my anxiety to it, because, like I said, whatever you hold on to, whatever you fear, whatever you hate, whatever you love, you attract more of. And so what if I could change this incessant way of reacting to situation in my life that is not pleasant, that is the way, it's just what it is, and it's not a happy experience, it's not a happy situation. And what if I could just let this moment be? And it's hard, because it's my dad, and he's in the ICU with a clot, and I have no idea, I have no update yet. I will get some update after this. But there is a presence, there is a grace that surfaces when you allow that moment to be. And the other question is, how would I experience this situation if I didn't bring in fears and worries and doubts and angers and resentments and jealousies and the usual stuff that I do every time I experience something that is not to my liking. So, what if and how would I experience this situation differently? Okay, so these are some questions, and they're really profound if you really go deeper with them, you know. And what happens is you really find a way to distance that negative. You know, our psyches are so ingrained with negativity and negative ways, and you know, the amygdala that in the Stone Age time when you walked out, and you know, you're always in a state of fear because you don't know when you were going to be attacked and who you would meet in the jungle, and we still have that part of the brain, right, that is constantly, you know, in a fear mode. But what if we could begin to be aware of it and break free from it? And it's a practice. It doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't happen you know, in a few months, because there are thousands and thousands of years of conditioning. We have this collective consciousness that we are tuned into, and everybody around us thinks like that, and we think this is the normal way to think. But what if we could begin to be aware? Because if you really want to consciously create the life that you want, and if you want to consciously you know, live each moment from that fresh place, from that free place, from that place of all possibilities, and not cram it with all the old data and old ways of thinking, feeling, experiencing, believing, reacting, then you really want to, you know, become aware as you move forward into your now moment and now moment and now moment, and consciously create what you want. And you know, I want to consciously feel peace as I think of my dad, because that's what I want to feel, and that's what I want to attract more of. And so, you know, so the last point here is consciously choosing how you want to react, how you want to respond, how you want to feel, instead of the negative, you know, recycled way of thinking, being, responding, living. Okay, so these are the five tips. I hope you will you know, begin to apply them, and because the truth is that it is your inner world that's creating your outer world. And if you want to consciously create a happier world for yourself, for your loved ones, then you want to be aware of what is going on in your head, in your mind, in your body. And also remember, you know, you are not your mind, your body, and your thoughts and your feelings and your life situations. You are that beautiful presence, that divine spark, that liquid love in this physical body. And when you become aware of that, then you can handle the day-to-day situations in a much more different way than you normally do. So thank you so much for joining me. I wish you all the very best, and I hope you know, you got something out of this. If you think somebody might benefit from this, please share this, and I will see you again next week at the same time. So take care and see you again. Bye, guys.